Pink is considered a soothing, compassionate color, but on Friday night, the Greenwood Bulldogs were by no means kind to Lake Hamilton. I'm Leland Barclay, and this is the River Valley Sports Report, sponsored by Atchley Air, a local supporter of this report and River Valley sports, schools, and athletes. By the time that Grant Carnes scored Greenwood's third touchdown of the first half, with 56 seconds left before halftime, the Bulldogs were firmly in control of what became a 24-0 win over two of the three unbeaten teams in the 6A West. Greenwood's defense was especially dominant, allowing just 61 yards rushing in the first half as the Bulldogs led 21-0 by halftime. We talked with senior defensive lineman Logan Taylor and Tanner McCusker, who were part of a five-man front employed by the Bulldogs to combat Lake Hamilton's wing T rushing attack.
Have fun tonight?
Man, I had a great time. We worked so hard for the past 2 weeks, and for it to go out there and pay off, man, it felt amazing.
Did you guys, how much did the defense look forward to this game, knowing that it was going to be kind of a physical game?
Oh man, we've been looking forward to it for a while. We heard last week that after the Greenbrier game, there was an interview where it was said that the defense can't stop anyone and that we sucked this year. And so to go out there and shut an undefeated team out like that, it felt awesome. But we couldn't have done it without the offense. So.
Now, of course, you guys had a five-man front. What changed as far as what you did tonight?
They moved me inside the nose, and instead of a Ringo Lucky call, they got McKee in the guard all night. If he pulls, I go with him. If he doesn't, then I just take the double team, fill up the gap. That's about it.
Hey man, we were talking in the locker room before the game, and we just had to come out with our theme last night was Bulldog confidence. So we had to have confidence ourselves, of course everybody else on the defensive side. We also had confidence in our offense too. Make sure we do our job, and once we do ours, they come out and just drive it down their throat and just go drive and score, man.
You guys came out with a five-man front.
Yep.
What did that change for you on the defensive line?
For me, I'm used to playing nose. I'm used to playing head up, and kind of moved me around. I was playing there all week this week, and they moved me to tackle this week, so I'm having to take a different pursuit angle. It's just having to adjust, man, having to adjust.
Was it a fun game?
Oh yeah, it was real fun, man. I had a great time. Just flying around, having fun with my boys.
How much do you guys get up for Lake Hamilton, the fact that they run the ball? I mean, is it kind of a physical challenge?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, because it's just driving it down. Driving it down. It's a wing tee. That offense is just designed for the run. It's designed for the run. It's designed to drive down our throat, and had to just stop it. But and no, it's just we know our assignments. We know what to do. Well, I got confidence on my boys. My secondary, linebackers, D-line, I got confidence all of them.
We also talked to defense coordinator Jason Gill, who was extremely excited about his defense's performance on Friday night.
Yeah, I couldn't be more proud of my kids. Like Coach said during, when he was talking to the team, our offensive scout team did an awesome job this week preparing us. They did it for 2 weeks. We were banging on them running the wing tee, and they got us. They got us ready for it. Our kids like that game. We like to play smash mouth football. So somebody wants to come play smash mouth football, let's go. That's just, we don't get to do that much. We throw it around a lot of practice, and so we kind of like it when this happens, regardless of what people say.
Logan Taylor got his first start. How much did you knowing that you wanted to go to a five-man front, you needed somebody, how did he become the guy?
He's our next D lineman in, really, and it's just the guy to go in. We have 2 or 3 other guys that could have probably fit that role, but he's just the next guy in, and he come in and did a great job. You know, Lake Hamilton you can't play them in a 4 front. Well, I guess you can, but I like to play them in a 5 front, and we just added Logan in there, and he did an awesome job tonight. Played in the middle, and I haven't watched film yet, but I'm sure he did an awesome job tonight.
So just how dominant was Greenwood's defense? The Bulldogs allowed just 166 yards and 9 first downs. Of Lake Hamilton's 9 possessions, they were able to gain more than 1 first down on just 1 of them. And they gained more than 20 yards on just 1 drive. Greenwood forced Lake Hamilton to punt on their first 5 possessions. Nobody was happier about the win, of course, than head coach Chris Young, who pointed out to his team that a sports talk show originating in Central Arkansas said earlier in the week that Greenwood's defense couldn't stop Lake Hamilton.
Talked about just a second ago is you're up 21-0. You're playing a good football team that you're getting after pretty good, and the last thing you want to do is turn it over. And so we just decided we were going to run the ball. We had some opportunities to throw it and didn't take advantage of that. But, that was more play calling than kids not playing well. You can put that on me. I wanted to be really conservative once it got 21-0 and make sure we didn't let them back in the ball game.
Well, the way your defense was playing.
Lights out, just great preparation. But, it's not just those 11 kids and those coaches. Our scout team guys the last 2 weeks have been unbelievable, and they've gotten pounded on and hit every day in practice and just did a great job getting our defense prepared. So it takes a lot more than 11 guys to be successful, and we won this football team tonight.
I think you gave up 9 first downs against a quality running attack. I mean, it was...
Yeah, Coach Gill, Coach Gill, this is his week. Every year we kind of circle this and say, Coach Jason, this one's on you. He's got a lot of experience with this, and, he takes pride in it, and he prepares like crazy, and I'm just so glad he's on my side.
How much did the defense really kind of get up for this type of game this 2 weeks?
Well, there was a little radio talk show in Greenbrier between the mats or between the sheets or something, and the comment was something effective. Greenwood never stop Lake Hamilton or PA. They don't have a chance to stop Lake Hamilton, and we played that for our guys a few times this week. So I think those guys need to go find a new story to write or find a new job, it sounds like.
In another matchup of conference unbeatens, Harold McIlvain covered Ozark's 63-34 win over Gentry. Ozark led 35-14 at the half and had 3 touchdown drives of 2 plays or less. Walter Woody was in Van Buren on Friday and covered Pulaski Academy's 69-26 win over the Pointers. Malachi Henry intercepted 2 passes for Van Buren and caught 3 touchdown passes from Bryce Perkins. Of course, there were lots of other big games on Friday, with Southside rolling to a 45-19 win over Rogers Heritage, which keeps the Mavericks alive and well in the playoff hunt. Boonville and Charleston recorded shutouts, while Subiaco Academy blasted Rosebud 60-8, rushing for 485 yards. Boonville's 35-0 win over Mansfield and Charleston's 57-0 win over Hackett proved that neither was looking ahead to Friday's Super Showdown in the 3A1 Conference at Boonville. The winner will certainly be in command of the conference for both the championship and the all-important top seed in the playoffs. Also, Ozark travels to Elkins in the 4A1 that will determine the same thing, as both are unbeaten in conference play. Just 3 weeks remain in the high school regular season. To put that into perspective, Alma and Boonville will both celebrate Senior Night on Friday, when the Airedales host Prairie Grove and Boonville host the big showdown against Charleston. So that tells you where we're at in the season, as well as basketball started for the smaller schools this week. I will provide coverage from Boonville on Friday. Walter will be at Northside, where the Grizzlies play another big game against North Little Rock in a key game that will decide home berth in the playoffs likely, and then Harold will be in Alma for the big game against Prairie Grove. That's going to take us to halftime of the River Valley Sports Report. We'll be right back after these words from our sponsor, Atchley Air, with Gimme 5.
The Martins came over, we were having spaghetti when we suddenly noticed that we started getting sweaty as the temperature approached 90 degrees. My buddy said, man, you gotta call Atchley. AtchleyAir.com. When your air conditioner breaks, they're the one you want. AtchleyAir.com. If fast and they're good and they got it going on. The technician showed up the very same day. Got it fixed right and fast, he was on his way. When your air conditioner breaks, you know who to call. There's only one choice, AtchleyAir.com.
Gimme 5. These are the top 5 performances of the past week in the River Valley. Number 1, the River Valley Player of the Week is Ozark quarterback Landon Wright, who had 20 carries for 197 yards and 5 touchdowns, and threw for 157 yards and a touchdown against previously unbeaten Gentry. Number 2, Southside running back Isaac Gregory had a phenomenal game on Friday night, following his offensive line to 249 yards and 5 touchdowns on the ground in a 45-19 win over Rogers Heritage. His performance also put him over the 1,000-yard mark for the season, but more importantly, kept Southside alive for a playoff spot. Number 3, the Hackett Lady Hornets wrapped up the Volleyball Conference Championship and completed an impressive regular season last week. The Lady Hornets improved to 23-1 overall, with the only loss to Little Rock Central 2 weeks ago in a tournament. Hackett did not lose a set in the regular season except to Central, going either 3-0 or 2-0 in every other match they played. District tournaments in the smaller classifications are going on this week, and the state tournaments for all classifications will be held next week. Number 4, the Greenwood Lady Bulldogs secured the 5A West Volleyball Championship with wins over Siloam Springs and Mountain Home last week. Greenwood is 13-0 in conference play and holds a 3-game lead over Van Buren and Greenbrier. Greenwood concludes conference play this week. Number 5, Van Buren runners Aubrey Willie and Parker Brown both finished third respectively in the girls and boys senior high division in the Van Buren Cross Country Classic on a nice warm Saturday morning. About 350 runners participated from all over the area. Check out every day of the Northwest Arkansas and River Valley Democrat-Gazette, where you will get Players of the Week, predictions, top performers, stats, schedules, scores, and capsules. Also, be sure and pick up every Sunday's River Valley Democrat-Gazette and the 4-page sports section. Weekly features of the sports section will be a feature story, wrap-ups from 2 selected games from Friday night, with the play of the game, player of the game, and an in-depth dive into the game, and then a small college notebook by Kevin Taylor. This week's feature was about Southside graduate Trey Rogers, who is helping to grow grass at several venues for the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Rogers is the professor of turf grass management in the Department of Plants, Soils, and Microbial Sciences at Michigan State University. You can subscribe online at nwaonline.com and click the subscribe button, or by calling our customer service line at 479-684-5509. Be sure to follow the new River Valley Democrat-Gazette Twitter accounts, as well as mine, Walters, and Harold's. You can view and purchase photos from our award-winning Arkansas Democrat-Gazette photographers that can be seen and purchased on our website, nwaonline.com/photo. We're going to wrap up this week's River Valley Sports Report with more photos from around Greenwood's Smith Robinson Stadium from Friday night, taken by our super photographer, Hank Layton. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more updates like this. God bless you, and we will see you